I'm out of the etrailer. Today I got Jay here from Westin. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, happy to be here.
We're going to be going over a little bit about what all they have today. So, Jay, tell us a little bit about Westin.
Yeah, so I like to think Westin is a market leader in the truck accessory world. We've been around over 40 years. We've got 3 facilities in the U.S., Minnesota, Texas. Then our home office is in San Dimas, California. That's where we've got our full R&D staff. That's where all the customer service is based. We kind of have our hands in a bunch of different categories. So steps, running boards, now truck caps, tonneau covers, grill guards, winches. It's a kind of a complete offering for whatever your neighbors might want to add to their vehicle.
Yeah, that is a ton of stuff. Now,
There's more.
Now, if you guys have any experience with any of these products, please let us know how you're using them in either a picture, review, or comment. We'd love to hear how you're using it. Now, with all that other stuff aside, let's kind of focus on your running board. So could you tell us a little bit more about them?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that people think of first when they think of Westin is our steps and running boards. This is a small example of our step assortment. We probably have about a dozen different styles. Anything from your kind of more basic Pro Tracks, which is our oval step offering. We do it in 4-inch, 5-inch, stainless steel, which we have here, which actually has a lifetime warranty. We do a black powder coated version too. Then another kind of like OE look step is our R series. So we have a R5 for 5 inches wide. We do a R7, 7 inches wide. Same thing, we do a black and a stainless steel version in those as well. Cool thing about those is the black version is actually an aluminum extrusion. So if somebody's worried about rust and corrosion, that's a good offering for them. Both of those, we include the injection molded cover for the bracket. So rather than having just a piece of steel there, you have a nice kind of factory finished off look. And we have 2 of our more like enthusiast style steps. This is for somebody with like a lifted truck, like a F-150 or Silverado or Tacoma that's a little bit higher up off the ground. Need a little bit more of a drop on the step. So the Outlaw drop and the HDX drop. This is actually one of our newer offerings, which eTrailer got loaded up on the website nice and quick. Both of these are mild steel. There is a stainless steel version of the HDX drop as well. Still black, but stainless steel underneath. And then there's a whole bunch of other different styles for whatever your neighbors might want to put on their trucks.
Yeah, as far as Westin goes, that's what I'm probably most familiar with you guys. And yeah, this is just a small little snippet at everything that you have. And speaking of which, of other things that you do have, you guys have an electric variation of this, right?
Yep, yeah, the Pro E, the power running board that we came out with not too long ago.
Sweet, let's actually take a look at that. Now, with it over here, could we actually see how this is going to be like to actually use?
Yeah, so this is a little display of our Pro E, the power running board. Just kind of show how it actuates. So a couple neat features. It's got 2 IP68 sealed motors, which basically means a waterproof motor. Some of our competitors only use 1. 2 gives you a lot more strength and durability. Over time, a single motor, is going to have a tough time and eventually fail. Mm-hmm. So we just offer it one way, inexpensive, fairly attractive price point. It's a fairly easy install. Takes about 4 hours. Not much to it. There's no drilling. You just use factory holes, just like the factory would mount their steps. This way, kind of gives a customer a step that drops down without impacting their ground clearance. So it tucks up nice and tight up against the rocker panel when it's not in use, and when you open the door, it comes down and helps you get in the truck easier.
Heck yeah. That'd probably be one of the main reasons someone would go with an electric one versus a manual one, right?
Yep, yeah, so you get a little bit more drop without being in the way, basically. And a lot of people see the factory options on the $100,000 platinum trucks, and they want to have something similar without breaking the bank.
So back over to these running boards, like I said earlier, you guys have a ton of options, and sometimes it can be a little bit hard to pick the right one for you.
Yep.
So how would someone go about choosing the right one for them?
Yes, there's a lot of different styles, a lot of different flavors, depending on what the neighbor is looking for. It depends. First thing you got to consider is how wide of a step surface do you want. Some people, they want the step fairly tight into the truck, so you can only go so wide. But so like the R5 is kind of like a good compromise, fairly large step surface. The other thing you want to think of is material. If you're somebody who lives in the Rust Belt, like maybe you're concerned with rust over time, so you might want to go with like a stainless steel option, or even the R5 or R7 in the black powder coated aluminum. If you're somebody who lives in an area where you're getting a lot of snow and ice, you might want to make sure that you're picking a step surface that's open in the bottom, like on the Outlaw drop. But yeah, there's a lot to consider, and then there's the aesthetics of it too. Some people want a certain look on their truck. Not everybody wants stainless steel, so I have a lot of black step offerings. But there's something for everybody basically.
Heck yeah, and you kind of actually touched on my next question and how these are going to handle in the elements, rain, snow, whatever it be.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they're all pretty robust.
Yeah.
But depending on the use case, you might want to go for a stainless steel option if you're going to really be out in the elements and kind of abusing the step to some degree. But they're all even the mild steel ones have really durable powder coat on there. So we take all that into account when we construct them. But stainless steel or aluminum would probably be how I would steer somebody if they were really going to have it out in the elements.
And that's great to know, especially if you are someone who's investing in your truck. You want something that's going to not only look good, but also is going to last the test of time through any type of condition you go through. Well, Jay, that's a ton of great information. Thanks for stopping by and letting us know.
Yeah, glad to be here. Happy to be part of your videos.
Awesome, thanks. And if you guys have any questions or you want any more information on any of these products, please let us know. And you can even watch some of our videos on our website, whether it be an installation or a full demo. But thanks for watching.